Good morning and Jai Hind. In this video, we are going to learn about the second basis of accounting, that is actual basis of accounting. So let us start about actual basis of accounting. See, incomes are recorded irrespective of the cash receipt. That means all the transactions are recorded whether the cash is received or not. It doesn't depend, as in the previous case. In case of cash basis of accounting, the transaction is recorded only when the cash is received or cash is paid. But in this basis of accounting, that means actual basis of accounting, the income or expenses are recorded irrespective of the cash received or cash is paid. Okay? Whenever the sales happen or the ownership is transferred, the sale is assumed. That sale has been happened, and so we have to record that transaction in our sales books. Okay, that means those transactions are recorded. And obviously, if this happens, then matched earning, revenues, and incurred expenses results in profit or loss for a given period. That means we can easily match the revenues and the expenses which are incurred in a specific particular period, so that we can obtain the true profit and loss of that period. That means matching of accounting, that's the principle of accounting, can happen in this. And the fourth point is Companies Act 2013 mandates maintenance of accounts on accrual basis. That means it is approved. This basis of accounting is approved by Companies Act 2013. Okay, it is recognized by Companies Act 2013. It is better method, better basis of accounting than the cash. Let us see the advantages. True disclosure of profit or loss. Obviously, when we are considering a particular period and we can match the expenses and income fairly, then we can obviously disclose the true or correct profit or loss of that particular period. Next is depicts true financial position of the business. Obviously, when we depicts the correct profit and loss for the period, we can definitely create the true financial position. That means how much expenses have been occurred and how much profit has been generated or income has been generated for that particular period. And ultimately, we can conclude how much assets and liabilities the firm owns. Okay. Next is follow matching principles of accounting. Obviously, when we can uh, truly depicts the correct profit or loss, or the expenses or income generated in that particular period, we can match those, and this actual basis follows this matching principle. Next is consistent computation of profits. As we are following the accrual basis, in this we uh, we are recording the transaction of a particular period in that period only. That means we are very consistent while recording our transaction. So consistency uh, exists in this method, and this method accrual basis is recognized by the Companies Act 2013. Few disadvantages are also there, that this method is quite complicated. It is not simple as the previous one, cash basis, but it is quite complicated, and it requires the use of estimates and the personal judgment also. Here, accountant plays a very important role in actual basis of accounting. Okay, he has to use his personal judgment and various estimates to record these transactions. There are few, these are the various differences between cash and accrual basis. The first is the recording. See, in cash basis of accounting, only those transactions which are in cash are recorded, while in accrual basis, the complete record of all the transactions, whether they are in cash or in credit, all transactions are recorded. Okay. Next, basis of difference between these two is the timing of recording of income. See, in cash basis, all the income are recorded, which have been received in cash only. But in case of accrual, the income are recorded whether the income is in cash form or which are received in advance. All the incomes are recorded. Similarly, timing of recording of expenses also in case of cash basis, only those expenses are recorded which have been paid in cash, for which we have paid in cash. But in case of accrual basis, all those expenses are recorded whether the payment is done or whether they are outstanding. Both the expenses are recorded, whether we have to pay in future or whether we have paid or not. So next is the outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, accrued income, and income received in advance. So on this basis, all these four things which I have just named them, these are not considered in cash basis of accounting. That means all these are ignored in cash basis. But in accrual basis, all these are considered while recording the transactions. I have already discussed these terms in the previous video. So all these terms are considered while recording in accrual basis of accounting. Next is the legal position. In cash basis, the this process of recording is not recognized by the Companies Act 2013, while in accrual basis is recognized by the Companies Act 2013. Okay, in the eyes of law. That means what is approved and what is not approved. Cash basis is not approved, while accrual basis is approved in the eyes of law. Next is ascertainment of correct profit or loss. In cash basis, I have just told you in the previous video that we doesn't record all the complete transactions in cash basis. Only cash transactions are recorded. That's why it doesn't generate the clear or fair picture. While in actual basis, all the complete transactions are recorded. That's why it creates a true picture of the business, its financial position. See, the last one is the suitability. This in cash basis accounting, this accounting is basically suitable for professional peoples like doctors, lawyers, while the actual one is adopted by the business enterprises who have the profit motive. That means they have the motive to earn profit. So these these firms usually use the actual basis of accounting. See, this is the last topic of your chapter, that is hybrid or mixed basis of accounting. This is the combination of cash and accrual basis. We have already studied about the cash and accrual basis. So this mixed basis or hybrid basis is the combination of these two. That means revenue and assets are recorded on the cash basis. Revenue which we earn after selling our product, the revenue which we earn, and the assets, these are recorded on the cash basis. Okay, while the expenses, the expenses we made, or the liabilities or obligations which we have are recorded on the accrual basis. So it is a combination of both the two, and it is an accepted and approved method by courts. This method is approved one. This is acceptable by all. So this is all about your chapter. Thank you.